Oh, Bourbon. Stagg Jr.
One, two, three, jump!
Alright guys, Stagg Jr. Once again, my good friend Dan has spoiled me with bourbon. This is not my first time having Stagg Jr. This is not my first time having this Stagg Jr. Now here's the thing, Stagg Jr., if you are in the States and shop for just Stagg Jr., you may have noticed that sometimes the proof goes up and down, very slightly. It doesn't, as far as I've been able to tell, and I've had 3 different batches of Stagg Jr. with varying percentages. It doesn't alter the taste that much. It stays pretty true to what it is. So having said that, this one here is bottled at 126.4 proof. And boy, oh boy, you get that little tinge of alcohol. Not a lot. Now, like I said in a previous video, once you sort of acclimate for the most part of high alcohol proof, high peat, you kind of start to desensitize just a little bit. Is it a good thing or bad thing? It's to each their own. I don't mind it, and that is why I like dry weeks a lot, because if you stop drinking for a certain amount of time and then go back to something, it's sort of rejuvenate a little bit. Your palate's kind of settled down and you can taste something new. Stagg Jr. is a Buffalo Trace product. Surprise, surprise. Now, Buffalo Trace was started by George T. Stagg, hence the Stagg Jr. and also the Stagg Sr., the George T. Stagg, which I do have a sample of that I will review at some point if Brad doesn't beat me to it. The distillery itself was formed during the Gilded Age of Bourbon. I love that name. The Gilded Age of Bourbon. How boss does that sound? George T. Stagg made the dominant distillery of the 19th century, and that just gave the floodgate. It opened up the floodgates to the American whiskey scene. And anyone that drinks whiskey, American bourbons, I feel he's one of the many people I'm sure to thank, but definitely the most prominent figure. Now on the nose, it reminds me of a mountain, a musty mountain. Just, it's weird. It reminds me of my time in Italy, in the south of Italy where my grandparents are from. Just like a weird, musty wood and stone nose, laced with a lot of vanilla, a lot of creamy vanilla, a little bit of, I say a little bit, I love black pepper, way too much, a lot of black pepper, nice, softer berries, sort of a green aspect. And when I say green, I want to kind of lean towards like a vine. Very interesting. A leaf, not so much a vine. The grapevine leaves and stuff like that. I'm not too sure it's because of what I've had previously that I'm getting that odd nosing note. I'm gonna leave that in there. I'm not gonna edit that one out because that's interesting. Let me know if you find that as well. You know, I said it before, oak cherry and all that stuff. But before I taste it, at 63.2%, again, similar to the Kathleen's batch, would not guess it to be that high of a proof. It's weirdly welcoming, and with that, that's what I remember most of and like most about Stagg Jr. Unrelenting on the palate. Crazy charred wood, sugar, charred sugar, burnt vanilla, heavy cherry, strong, long aftertaste. If it was easier to get in Toronto, I'd have a bottle on my shelf pretty consistently. Going back on the nose for the second time, that weird drywall compound came back. What I was getting from the Kathleen's batch, I don't know if I'm describing it the same as some other people might, but that's what it reminds me of a drywall compound. That's, and not the powder, the pre-mixed compound putty that you can buy, to tape and whatnot. Just so welcoming, and so good. There's no getting around that this whiskey is just bourbon taken to the next level. You take your stereotypical bourbon, this is just that times 100 in all aspects. Your typical tastes and notes that you find, all heightened and prominent and there. As high proof it is very drinkable. In my opinion and in my experience, it's got such a nice aftertaste. Just nice, strong, and lingering you know what you've tasted. Carry it through. I'm sure this will last me quite some time after. I'm not gonna dilute this one because that's how much I like it. I don't feel the need to, because of how much I like this. So I'm gonna drink the rest of this as is. If you have a bottle, by all means, try it with an ice cube, try it with a bit of water. Like, I'm sure it'll probably act the same as the Kathleen's batch, where it'll kind of just, it may dilute and soften the nose and a bit of the palate, round out a little bit. I don't feel like this needs it. The Kathleen's batch didn't either. I did that as just, you know, an experiment in the previous video, link up here. This is just great by itself. So with that, I think I'm gonna rate this, I gotta rate it a 4, really. It is that good. I really like it as a bourbon. And I know I rated the Eagle Rare a couple of videos back a 3, and it being one of my favorite bourbons, but it is rated a 3 just because it's sort of, you know, baseline, easy to drink, and well-rounded and good for the price. This, though, is a bit more expensive, but it's just elevated, and that's why it gets the 4. So with that, I will leave you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, Twitter, Facebook, audio podcast and video podcast in the description below. Keep it coming, guys, and we'll keep it coming to you. That was weird. Stay classy, stay safe, and until next time, cilantro, guys.